To maximize your performance in karate, should you build your strengths or improve your weaknesses? The answer, of course, is both. But which one should you prioritize? Let's do the math. Let's use sparring as an example. Let's say your strength in sparring is your quickness. You're super fast, faster than a peacock shrimp on speed. And let's say your weakness is your defense. Basically, your defense sucks, like a jellyfish after smoking a blunt. Let's rate them both on a scale of 1 through 10. We'll give your strength, your speed, an 8 out of 10, and we'll give your shitty defense a 2 out of 10. So altogether, your performance is 8 plus 2 equals 10. Top performance would equal a maximum of 10 plus 10 equals 20. So at 10 total, your overall performance is moderate. Now let's say you just focus on building your strength. You spend the majority of your training time working on improving your speed. Because you're already good at this, you won't make huge gains. So let's say for this example, you've worked on it and you build this up from an 8 to a 9. And you don't worry at all about your weakness. You leave that as is. The improvement in this case would change this performance equation to 9 plus 2 equals 11. On the other hand, let's say you decide to work just on your weakness and you leave this alone. You work really hard at improving your shitty defense, and over time you move this up from a 2 to a 6. And even though 6 is not ideal on a scale of 1 to 10, it's still a big improvement. So the total in this case would be 8 because you're not working on this at all, plus 6 equals 14. So in this case, you're moving up 4 points just from working on your weakness. Whereas when you just worked on your strength, you increased it by 1 point. Now let's say you decide to work on both your strengths and your weaknesses. When you do this, you get 9 plus 6 equals 15. By focusing on both, your overall performance went from a 10 to a 15. That's a huge increase. But make note that the bulk of that increase, 4 whole points, came just from working on your weaknesses. You do want to work on both strengths and weaknesses, but the gains you make from building on your weaknesses will be far greater than the gains you make from building on your strengths. You have far more room to improve in the areas that you suck at. So prioritize your training time accordingly. And consider this, strengths can hide your weaknesses. Your strength gives you an edge, but only when you're competing against people who don't have that same strength. As soon as you're matched with someone who has the same strength as you, the playing field is leveled. That is when your weakness really starts to matter. And that is when you lose your edge. By prioritizing building up your weaknesses, the greater the overall gains and the more successful you will be on your martial arts journey. And hey, if you want a super simple way to further improve your performance, watch this next video.